Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of TMAI. Tell me about it. As you can see, or as you can hear, I am here with Dominic today. It's been a while since Dominic has been on the show, right? So we are going to be hearing him today. Dominic, how does it feel like being on TMAI for like forever? It's been like forever. You know, Priscilla has been asking, where is Dominic? Where is Dominic? So today Dominic is here.
I can't hear myself.
Yeah, I think it's off. Oh.
I can't really hear myself.
I can't hear you too.
Okay.
Let me.
All right. Maybe let's do this.
Should we switch?
Okay, it's fine. So we're fine.
Oh wait.
Which is
A minute first.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Okay. So that was a quick one day. Welcome back again to TMAI. Tell me about it here at PenyGh Radio. I am ACK, and again we are welcoming Dominic to TMAI. If you're listening to us, you're using either one of our platforms, Facebook and YouTube, or the radio.penygh.com, which is our website, and we thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us. This episode and every other episode would be available after it going live, so you can as well watch it as well. What would that be called? After recorded, pre-recorded, molai, or I don't know. So for today, we are going to be talking about Mire, Kwagwaga. I mean future, past, and then Hyunje, present. So I don't think I'm correct about the present one, but then yes, we are talking about the past, the present, the future, and we are just trying to figure out if everything in this world is predetermined. So Dominic, what do you think about it? Is everything in this world predetermined?
Predetermined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, I think everything in this world has been planned by God to happen. Okay. That is to me. I don't want to go further, but I know. Yeah, so for me, I think everything in this world
is predetermined.
It's predetermined.
So it has.
But there is a but.
There is a but. What is the but? Because I think we are in the season. We are in the season where should I call it? Okay, I think I'm saying we forgetting that. Saying we forgetting that Catholic. So it could be that only Catholics are in that season. But then I think as Christians, we are all in that season. Christians are in this season. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Preparing for the death of Christ.
Of Christ.
Yes.
Sure.
So if it's more like in the Bible, it says that I'm turning into Christian. Whatever. So in the Bible, there was this part of the Bible. I don't want to quote and then misquote. That said something like, okay, he's gonna bear a son and his name shall be called Jesus.
Yeah.
So that is more like a predetermined something, and it was already predetermined that Jesus was going to be born.
More of a prophecy.
Exactly. And then in somewhere in Jeremiah, it says that before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before So it also shows the predetermined aspect of it.
Yeah.
So what happens to those who do not believe in the Bible? If we take them out of it, is there any signs that says that the world is predetermined?
All right. So if you take them out, before I even say this, we say that ignorance of the law.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah. So the fact that they do not believe in does not mean that it will not apply
to them. Okay.
Yeah, it does not mean it will not apply. But even for us Christians, okay, I say that we are not too different from those who do not believe.
Of course.
Okay, because we're saying that things are predetermined, and because of that, people don't want to do anything. They think once it's supposed to happen, it will happen, and they sit without doing anything.
So that brings us to our topic for today:
exactly.
Predetermination and determination.
Exactly.
What is the thin line between both of them? Like, should I try? If it's already destined, then why should I?
Why should I?
Exactly.
Why should I
try for it? But then if it's not destined or something, is my trying also part of the destination or whatever it is I'm supposed to get? Because this topic came about when I was watching this recent movie. It's a Korean movie.
All right.
I think for a while now, all the listeners would know that I'm a Korean freak. So I was watching this Korean movie. Is The Myth.
Okay.
And is this Sisyphus? SISP. I even don't want to pronounce the word Sisyphus. So it goes between the past and then the future, and then it's about a lady who is back from the future trying to change the past and trying to prevent the war that occurred in 2020 that destroyed the future.
Okay.
So when it came, I was like, okay, if everything is predetermined, why is she trying so hard to change the present? And then she was supposed to change something. And then this is not the first time I'm watching like a science fiction about going to the future and all that, and with the whole physics thing.
Sure.
So I thought it would be nice to discuss
it
and figure out if it's really
determined
or not.
All right. So I want to come in here. I don't want to jump the whole thing and conclude, but then you see, it is one thing that we really don't talk about.
Oh yes.
Yes, one thing that and it's making people quote unquote lazy.
I think so like we are afraid to talk about it. That's how I see it.
Maybe
like a taboo topic.
Maybe. And that is why people say that prophecies have failed. The prophecy has failed. You see, I always like the story of Jonah and then the people of Nineveh. When God said, go tell them that if they do not repent, there was a condition, if they do not repent. But when God saved them, Jonah was unknown. God, why did you send me there and you did not do it? You see, there was a human factor there. After God telling them, they did their part.
Exactly.
It was that I'm going to destroy them. But they changed their mind. And God repented of it.
So it's more like, although everything is predetermined, determining or based on our attitude or whatever it is, we can change.
Something will change.
Exactly. Like the movie I watched.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be paralyzed, but then because she had been to the future and then she's back, she was able to change something.
Exactly.
And I think I watched another more parallel worlds. I'm overwatching science fiction. And I think the King Eternal Monarch also had that, where the king had to travel to parallel worlds to try and save his younger self, and then find out who killed his dad or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically.
All right. So you see, this same thing that we're discussing, it reminds me of a question that someone asked me some time ago. That can destinies changed? That the destiny. Once God has predestined you're like God knows your destiny. It means that your destiny can never be changed. And I said no, it can be changed. It can be changed. Yep. The fact that God created you to be a king does not mean that if you live a life anyhow, if you live on alcohol, you live on drugs, and then you become a drunkard, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You become a mad person. It doesn't mean someone will put you on the throne.
True.
Your destiny has been altered.
True.
So if God has predestined that you AC will be a pastor or a priest, and along the way you do not act, you do not take activities that will make you a priest, and you say whatever will happen, and you go to sleep. Exactly, it will not happen, although it is predestined.
So we have a role to play in designing our future.
Exactly.
And then whatever it is that our future becomes, it's determined by what we do
Exactly.
in life. Interesting.
Exactly.
So let's look at the article. The article says that first of all, okay, he said we have to ask ourselves whether we have the free will.
Exactly.
We must understand what exactly we meant by that. And then a common straightforward view is that if our choices are predetermined, then we don't have free wills. Otherwise we do. And we have free will. We do have free will.
Yeah, let me, I want to challenge that part also.
We have a free will.
Yes, we have a free will, okay? And the fact that it's predetermined does not mean that nothing can alter it. God has given us our free will, but there is that perfect will of God. There is a perfect will of God, and God has given you your will. So in that same way, let's go back to creation, the Garden of Eden, okay?
Yeah.
God had his perfect will for man, that man will not be separated from him.
Okay.
But God did not also want to push everything on man, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not. So he said, I've shown you good and evil, life and death. You choose.
So we still have a choice to make.
Exactly. So though we have also there.
Sure. So there's a will. And then he said to see why, first notice that the prefix pre in predetermined choice is entirely redundant. Not only are all predetermined choices determined by definition, all determined choices can be regarded as predetermined as well. Okay, how?
Yeah, that's what that's why people talk about contradiction. It is not contradiction. What he is saying is true. It's true in a fact that if your father, you see, I always say that I will not choose what my children should be in future for them. I will just guide.
Yeah, be the guide.
But the truth is that you as a father, you always, as a mother, you always wish something good for your children. You wish they were here, you wish they were that, you wish they were that. But you don't want to impose on them. So in some way, guiding them, you show some biasness towards a certain, you get it. So it's predetermined, but the fact that it's predetermined does not mean that if you do not do your part in attaining it will come to pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Predetermination.
Yeah.
So in this context, a free will choice would be an undetermined one. But what is an undetermined choice? It can only be a random one. For anything that isn't fundamentally random. Okay, I get what this person is trying to say, but then why then do we think that metaphysics, science need not be okay, so he's trying to use our choices. Moreover, even if we did have a free will, when we think of free will, we don't think of mere randomness. Free choices aren't erratic, and what I say, I think what he's trying to say is that we do have factors do come to play.
Exactly.
In everything. So although it may be determined that you are supposed to probably reach this height or be here, you have to take some steps or follow some.
You need to work. You need to work towards it. So I think.
But the article is using some science phrases.
Yeah, it's trying to use science because in humans we want everything one proof.
Okay, true.
We want proof, and probably the person want to prove a point by using those science things. Yeah, and people believe that in science Okay, some occurrences can never be altered.
Oh, okay. It's true.
You get it?
Yes.
Yes. But the truth is that whatever that happens in life, okay, God has a purpose for it. Once God has a purpose for it, it means it's predetermined. And whether you believe it or not, it does not change that fact.
So what is the thin line between predetermination and determination?
Okay, so
it's about my life.
Yeah.
So where do I determine? I know that external factors and then internal factors do come to play to create or to merge or to make an individual who the person is.
Sure.
So what is the thin line? Because if everything is predetermined, then basically what am I doing on this earth? It's already predetermined for me to be this or that. Like, even if I put in so much effort to be, let's say, a singer,
Sure.
I may not be a singer because it's probably predetermined for me to be like an actress. So what is the thin line? How do I even identify that this is what is predetermined for me
And what is not?
what is not? 'Cause
All right.
those questions has been
Yeah, it's difficult to understand some of these things. Okay, so back to creation, because that's where everything started.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll say in everything. Okay, in everything, God has a plan B. In everything that happens,
oh, okay.
God has a plan B. Look at how God saved man back to himself.
By bringing Jesus Christ.
Exactly. He knew that once he has given you your will, you can do anything with your will. That is why he says that go multiply means continue the work that I did. Continue the work that I did. He just instructed, go multiply. So if you go and you decide not to do it, it is your will. And he's not forcing it on you. Although he wants you to continue, if you as a person, AC, you do not do it, God will use a different person to do it. Making noise. He said, if these ones stop praising me, I will raise pebbles. So there is always a plan B.
So when there is a will, there is a way.
Exactly.
Determination.
Exactly. So there is always. Once although it's predetermined, but if you do not work at it, God will use someone to accomplish that.
So basically, predetermination is closely related to determination.
Exactly.
And then it says that the concept of predetermination is often argued by invoking casual determination. So what we are doing could be casual, whatever it is, implying that there is an unbroken chain of prior occurrences stretching back to infinity. Same way. In the case of predetermination, the chain of events has been pre-established, and human actions cannot interfere with the outcome of this That is the difference between predetermination and then determination. So what is the determination difficulties? Predetermination is difficult to discuss.
It is because so let's use this same destiny thing. Okay, so if your destiny is a destiny, it's something that is supposed to happen, it's predetermined that it will happen.
It's like you probably meeting a prophet, not necessarily a prophet, but then someone who sees you, and the person sees like potential in you.
Exactly.
And the person is like, you would be great.
Yes.
That is like a something.
This is what God is telling
Me to
about
you'll
you.
be great.
You'll be this, you'll be that, and I've heard it, and you don't do anything about it. You cannot. That is why so many people have received prophecies, and it never comes to pass. So many people,
Yeah.
and it has never been fulfilled. It is not that it wasn't true. It is not that God did not say it. It is not that there's this king, forgotten his name. God told him that he was going to die.
I remember that story.
You get it?
Yeah.
He was going to die. God did not say He said, go and tell him he will die. There was no condition that if he should stop eating this food, he should do this.
Sure.
God said, go and tell him that he is. And then he went back to God, argued it out with God. That God, look at what I've done, how I've served you. There was a bargain there. And God said, look, I've given you another 15 years more.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Yeah.
It was predetermined. He was going to die. It was God who said it. It wasn't any other man saying that, I think the way you smoke, the way you drink, you are going to die. It was God saying it. Go and tell him he's going to die. If he has any will, he should start preparing. You get it? But there was a bargain. He did something. If he had not done anything, it would have happened. It was predetermined. But God came in to alter it.
Okay, so despite the fact that everything is predetermined, we have a role to play by changing
Exactly.
what we think may not suit us.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly.
Anyway, and then it says that it's simply the predetermination can logically lead to a variety of similar complex concepts in metaphysics, theology, philosophy, or free will. True.
Yeah.
The term predetermination suggests not just a determine of all events, but the prior and deliberately conscious whatever. So they are come to cite an example for us.
Okay.
A secular example to try to illustrate predetermination is that a fetus's future, physical, emotional, and other personal characteristics as a mature human being may be considered predetermined, by heredity. Okay. I think I get that concept. So before a child is born, you know that the child is going to be in the mother's womb for 9 to 10 months. It's predetermined. And then you know that the child is going to get the DNA of the father. That is predetermined. You know that the child is going to get, if there are any complications, it's due to the things that the mother or father did during the process of handling the child. So everything with that is predetermined according to them.
Yeah.
And I think I get us up to that point.
Yeah. And even up to that point, see, there's this thing. I'm using that same example.
Example.
So God made you to be an athlete, yeah. And then, athletes are self-motivated. Within, they are self-motivated. That is what God made you to be. But once you're in your mother's womb, your mother is going through some kind of bitterness. And any emotional thing you have as a pregnant woman, you transfer it to the baby.
Child, yes.
So within the womb, this baby is just collecting all those emotional, whatever the mother is giving. So the person comes out timid. Someone who's supposed to have that self-motivation, you come out timid. If there is no external motivation, you lose that self-motivation that you need to pursue that dream.
So that is where the external factor also
Exactly.
comes into play.
And you need to work at it, else you lose that thing that has been predetermined for you.
Well, I think I get, because sometimes you may want to be something, and then maybe it's part of your destiny to probably be let's use the athlete. And then along the way, you do not get any support. You do not put in any efforts, because I was an athlete. But then it's more like I knew that in Ghana after SHS, athlete is no way.
Exactly.
Because I wasn't really determined to figure out anything to go through it, I just switched.
Exactly.
Naturally. So I think I get it. You have to probably work towards the. So wait, okay. Now tell me about it. Dreams, your aspirations and everything, do they fall under predetermination? Are they predetermined? Because let's say, do I work towards my, because if it's already predetermined for me to be like a radio host, if it's already predetermined to, and then I don't work towards being a radio host, then does it cut off, or does my determination move away from the
Sure. So one thing I think Nanajo Crimson said is King Hezekiah. Yes, King Hezekiah. That thing he was supposed to.
This girl, she's an all-rounder. Nanajo Crimson was the one here last week, and then she was talking about K-pop music.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then today she's here with the Bible with us.
Yeah. That's why I say you don't judge people by what they say at a particular time.
Sure.
You feel. If you judge me the way you see me at a particular moment, you
predetermination is always
exactly. So back to what we were saying. You see, okay. What is predetermined in your life? That is the most difficult thing. And so even if you are uttering something that is predetermined for you, you wouldn't know if you do not know your purpose. So it is that purpose, how to identify that purpose. And how do you identify that purpose? If you're a Christian, the Holy Spirit helps you to identify that purpose and the gifts that is within you. Seeing there are so many people who are gifted, okay, and they do not know. So last week at prayer meeting, I asked, no, that was last 2 weeks, I asked within you, when you are taken out of your office, there's nothing you can do with your mind, with your hands, without your book knowledge. Let us know. And at a point in time, I saw that no one was willing to. But you know that there are some people, if you take the book knowledge, there's nothing they can do with their hands, with their mouth, it's because they've not identified it. But once you're able to identify all those things, put together will lead you to your purpose.
I think I have to come for more. This purpose thing, moving away from predetermination. This purpose thing, I've been, should I call it jack of all trade? Or I'm always trying to figure out and try to learn so many things.
Sure.
So because of that, it has made it very difficult for me to figure out if this is my purpose or this is something that I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
Because I'm doing basically everything, Sam. So if you say this, I'm already trying to learn it, so I'm there. If you say this, I'm trying to learn it, I'm there.
Exactly. So people are training people wrongly in identifying purpose, because they say what you do and you feel comfortable doing.
Yes.
What do you feel comfortable doing? What you feel that is why in Africa, when we see that this person is selling tomatoes here, we go and buy tomato and come and sit by the person and start selling because that's what feels comfortable doing.
Yeah,
you get it. But there's something that you do, it's not you don't feel too comfortable, but after achieving a bit of it you feel fulfilled. That is the purpose. It looks very difficult to achieve, okay, you don't have that energy to do it, but once you're able to move a bit closer to it, you find fulfillment, some inner peace within you. That is the purpose. And once you realize
this is the first time I'm getting a different definition of purpose, because usually the definition I get of purpose is look within yourself.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah.
If you can, write everything you know about yourself.
Exactly.
Pick out the one you feel more comfortable with.
Exactly.
For what?
That's why I said we've been taught wrongly, okay? We've been taught wrong, and so you see people doing all kind of things, and we see that it's almost the same thing everyone is doing. It's almost the same thing everyone is doing. You get it? And so by doing that, they are pushing us away from what is predetermined for us, and it is your will.
I also see it as the downplay of some things. I feel like we downplay some things, some important things.
Sure.
And then we make some things look so higher. So let me cite an example. We always see actors, we always see actresses, we always see musicians, we always see all those people on TV. So it's more like we uplift the entertainment industry. So we do not normalize being a career worker. We do not normalize being like a communicator. We do not normalize being a seller. We do not normalize being a cashier. So sometimes maybe my purpose would be to communicate with someone at a store. Maybe when someone comes to everyone, the way I would relate to customers, the way I would relate to people would be different. So that would be my purpose, to soothe or bring or calm down customers. But then because it's not normalized, I'm basically looking up there to be something extraordinary, which isn't like I'm seeing something up high, as though that is very high, but then you look at those people and then you ask those people and they tell you that no, this isn't even high. There's nothing even here.
So that is where the right time, the right place with the right person comes to play.
True.
Okay, there are some people when you're trying to do something that is out of the normal. Let me use that, out of the normal. The way they say it will push you to do more. But there are others, the moment they see you doing it, they discourage you from, they've never tried it, but they'll discourage you from doing it.
And then I think I've met the others. Personal testimony. When I started studying Korean, it's been almost 4 years now. I'm not really good at speaking Korean, but then I can guarantee that I understand.
You can understand
80%
and do a bit of.
I even write.
Okay.
And then those comprehension. But then a banner said like Mecca, probably because of the environment, because I'm not practicing.
Exactly. You might even say something, but it wouldn't be that fluent.
Yes, I can actually sit down and then construct a sentence, but then I would have to like think, if it's not the normal everyday things and I have to construct like a complex sentence.
Sure.
I have to sit down and then think.
Exactly.
But when I started this, it wasn't really nice.
Okay.
Why are you studying Korean?
Yeah.
What is wrong with
What is
why
wrong with you?
Korean?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
There is French, there's
Okay.
Spanish,
Okay.
there's Italian.
Okay.
And I'm like, you are downplaying Korean.
Exactly. So let me chip in this. If you're supposed to be an international evangelist, or you're supposed to be an international journalist, okay, and learning that Korean is just a tool for you to break into it, okay, and then someone comes to talk you down and you stop doing it. You
I actually stopped for a while.
Very good. You stop studying it, and then there's a chance for you to go there and do it. Probably you stop that one and you learn something like French
And then Spanish.
and exactly, and then you get a chance, and then going to Korea will give you that better chance of becoming what you're supposed to. And because you switched, you missed the opportunity. You did not do you took away that human factor.
For predetermination.
Exactly. God has it there. That is why. So why is it that God knows everything, but He still wants us to ask? Is that I know what you need? But
Ask and it will be given unto you.
exactly. Why is it? Probably you don't want it, but you need it. It has to do with the I want and the need.
So how desperate we are for something. So okay, then we can put the desperation as our want
Exactly.
and the need, and then I think the predetermination would be predetermination
Predetermination is the need,
is the need.
and then the want
Want is the
what we will actually make it happen.
Okay.
So because we are not even seeing what we need. Some people don't need cars. Some people don't need cars. What some people need, okay, is a business, not a work or a job. It's a business. But the money they use in the business, they've used it to buy cars. And the car is draining money. The fuel, the maintenance, everything. Okay, and the business they need, they've not looked there. So if God wants you to be a rich person, okay, you are living in the moment at the wrong time. But if you had invested that money you used in those cars, those big homes that you rent into the business.
Speaking of investment, I'm looking for someone who can come and talk to us about investment.
About investment, sure, it will be great. You see, so that there are so many factors we play when it comes to predetermination and determination. You get it? It is there. God has. Once you get to know your, and some people get to know their purpose, and they're like, this is this for this.
Remember, say someone said that your purpose and say, "Bet na store ano." But ni bube fu.
Exactly.
Jesus store ni your stores more kese.
Exactly.
Mall we have
Exactly.
bigger one.
Exactly. There's this man. Okay, he became a human relation officer at one of these big companies, and you know, we're praying with him some time ago before he became, okay, And the person I followed the person to go pray for him. And then he said, God is telling me something about you. It's a bit private, but if you don't mind, can I say it? And he said, go ahead. And he said, you're going to be so and so. Okay, you're going to be at the forefront when it comes to human relations. But where you start from, you might not like it. But whatever form it comes, pray to God and seek direction and take it.
The form.
You know how it started. He was a Sunday school teacher. And the Sunday school teacher, it's not like he was there teaching the children. No. He was an usher at Sunday school. He comes to church in suit, and he go and stand at and then he has to welcome the children to class, okay, to the Sunday school. You come, oh, how are you? Where's your book? And then you go in. He was not even the teacher. And then from there became an usher in church. You see how he built that skill from there, from these children, how to be humble with children, go to the main church until he had the opportunity. And then we forgot about it because the man just prayed. And so one day we invited him to a seminar for him to come and train, and then as a resource person. And then he said, you see this man here and this young boy, they are the ones who pushed me to where I am. They just gave me a word and I picked it, and that was all. We forgot. You see, something that has been predetermined and the channel went through. If Sunday school, these children, they'll make my dirty standing in front of welcome everyone, it's not too cool. You get it. You could have just pushed it away, and who knows what would have happened. So you have a part to play, even though it is predetermined.
So you have to work hard towards it, even though it's predetermined.
Exactly.
I see. So I think our listeners can go and read more about predetermination, but then because we have a lot of things here we may not finish if we talk about it, because a lot of definitions, and then I feel it just boils down to free will determination, and then it goes round and round and round. So in all, it's basically saying that things are predetermined, but then we have a role as humans to play for our desires to become a reality. We have a role to play for whatever it is that we want, to satisfy our need, to work it out, basically. So it's the future predetermined? Yes. Is the present predetermined? Was it predetermined? Yes. Was the past predetermined? Yes. It was predetermined for us to be on this earth. Everything was predetermined, but then at the end of the day, we have a role to play with it, with our determination, with our hard work, and with whatever it is. So we make up.
Sure.
So everything is predetermined. So but then our external factors, our internal factors, the people, the society, and everything comes to play, and then it helps us lead to our predetermined destination. So depending on the society you find yourself in, or your external factors or your internal factors, it will determine whether you make it to your predetermined destination or you move to another predetermined destination. And like Brother Dominic said, there is how did my mind go blank? I was going to quote something you said. My mind just went blank.
I don't know if it has to do with our will.
Yes. So our will, the more willpower we have, the more we would be able to move it out and all that. And then I don't know what is wrong with my brain. Everything is going
away. It's because you're resetting.
My brain is going black.
Maybe you moved away from the path of your destiny. You are resetting onto the path.
I've remembered. And then the purpose. So purpose doesn't necessarily have to deal with you trying to find what you're comfortable with. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to move out of your comfort zone for you to get more comfortable.
I like the word play there.
So with that, I think I'd have to look at some things like that and then try to figure out mine. So as I try to figure out mine purpose, I think one of my purpose would be to be here with my broken lens. I think it can be seen. With my broken lens, I have a conversation with you so that we tell each other about basically everything and nothing, from Christian to physics to because today we were from Christian, we are physics, we are metaphysics, we are and then emotions, and then we are psychology. We just basically talk about everything and nothing. And after all, tell me about it with a concept where we talk about everything and nothing.
Sure.
So you can join us same time next week, Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. And then you can find us on social media, PenyGh. And then our website is radio.penygh.com. We also wait sponsor, but then it's a must in a way. You can sponsor us with water, you can push it. You can sponsor us with anything, and then in return we we advertise the product for
Sure,
you. We
sure.
do a lot of things. We do printing of shirts, we do printing of flyers, we do printing of a lot of things. So you just have to contact us on the number below, 05438, and the number just switched 29571. The number just went away, so you can contact us for anything, and then you can also send in your questions through the same means.
Yeah.
054, and then yes, that's the number for the station. You can send your questions for the show, and you can help us answer. What is the next big question we are going to answer here? Tell me about it from you.
Sure.
And then we have one about cooking, one about investment. So we'll tackle those topics for you. Until then, see you same time. And then it's the week, the birthday week of the Aqua family.
Oh, okay.
When I say Aqua family, my sisters and I, I mean, should I say Aqua siblings? Tomorrow is my younger sister's birthday. So
Okay.
happy birthday to Ruth Abakwansma in advance. And then Monday is my birthday, so happy birthday to me in advance.
Oh, okay.
And then Tuesday is my other sister's birthday, so happy birthday to her in advance. And then happy birthday to all fellow merchants, March bonds. And then basically, on a learn come Samida, thank you very much for tuning in to PenyGh. We are most grateful. Until same time next week. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blast. We are going to April. So, bye.
All right. So thank you for having me on your show today.
Oh, thank you very much for joining me on the show today. I was like, what am I going to be talking about? And as I said, I'm missing. End. Push live. End. Okay. The process of studying.